Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today is Christmas, so I'm going to tell a Christmas story from Mexico, and it is about intentions. And it's called Pepita and the Poincietta. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there lived a little girl in Mexico, in a little village called Los Panchos, several hundred years ago. Now Christmas was approaching, and both her father and her mother fell ill, and our little girl had to take care of her little brother and sister babies. And so she was really working very hard to keep the household going, the farm going. She was doing everything, taking care of the animals, making the food, taking care of the little ones as good as she could. But at the same time, she was thinking about, you see, with Christmas approaching, there was a big event always happening in that village. Every year there was a big procession, and the procession would end up in the church. And then the priest, Father Gonzalez, would put the baby Jesus in the manger, and then all the villagers would offer presents to the manger and put them all around there. And our little girl, she was just thinking, what can I do? I have no idea what I can make this year. She tried to make a little colorful blanket, but she's just too little, and she got the yarn all mixed up and tangled up, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't finish it. And then she thought, maybe I'll make little leather boots to put my gifts in. But then the leather she had to poke with the needle through the leather, and she was just a little girl, and she couldn't do it. She didn't have enough strength. And so with her father and mom sick, and her little brother and sister too little to help, she really did not know what she was going to do. And then Christmas Eve was there. And all the villagers who had been busy for months and months preparing for this were walking towards the church with their nicely well-prepared little gifts to give. And our little girl was standing in the dark a little bit, with tears in her eyes, because she wanted to, but she didn't know what to get. And then a strange man came up to her and says, "Are you Pepita?" And she says, yes, wondering who this guy would be. She says, "Your father and mother will get better very soon. You just go and enjoy Christmas at the church like everybody else in the village. Your brother and your sister are waiting for you there." And she said, "No, I can't. I have nothing to give to baby Jesus. I have tried everything, and I've tried to make things I can't. I cannot go there." And then the man said, "Whatever you give to the baby, Jesus will be happy, because it came from you, with your beautiful heart." And then the little girl said, "Yes, but what am I going to give?" And she looked around and she saw this big bunch of green weeds, and she took them all together, and she was going to show it to the old man, but he was gone. And so she walked up into the church, all along the aisle, and everybody, all the villagers were whispering and says, what's Pepita carrying? It's just weeds, yeah? And then very carefully Pepita walked up, and she put all the weeds around the manger. She closed her eyes and she prayed. And then people started to say, "Look, look, look at the weeds." And Pepita opened her eyes, and then she saw big red stars on each of the green weeds that she had put all around the manger. And later when they walked out in the processions, she saw that everywhere all the green weeds had beautiful red stars on them. So her present had really become very, very beautiful. Now, that red star is actually the plant which eventually came to be known as the Poincietta, which flowers at the time of Christmas. It flowers beautifully red, and it is now one of the most popular plants for during Christmas in Latin America, but also in the US. Now, the message of this story is about intention. That girl offered with a really pure intention. Therefore, her gift was so beautiful. You know, there's an American expression that says, a present thought is a present bought. Also that points that everything is about the intention with which we give. Thank you.